Morning. What will I do if all my plants got that African fungus and died? Probably throw myself under a bus. Not well, I'm not just African fungus. I'm just reading on Google Snaps about some virus that's blown in from America or something. I don't know. It was one of those weird articles and I was half asleep. A crop thing. It's an agricultural crop thing anyway, and I know this is quite common. Think about what is. I can't think about what I'm saying. But I thought about this before anyway. I mean, I do think about this sort of thing a lot. Most gardening people do. And I've probably just said I don't know that much about agricultural farming and how they do things. But like the potato famine in Ireland, whenever that was, blah, blah, blah. So, crops fail and people die for whatever reason because all they grew was potatoes, I think, at that point. But this is one of the reasons that I go, I suppose, foraging and looking for alternatives that you can eat. And, you work out what is cropping and things that people have forgotten to eat, we used to eat historically. So like dandelions or whatever. And then people start growing things like spinach or whatever it is that you need to tend more in the garden. And it's and different strains, and how people want things for fashion. It's like a bit like dog breeding, I suppose. I've gone off on a tangent already, where people, you have show strain and working strains of dogs, and how things like German Shepherds have been bred, into, disabled dogs essentially because of the looks. I don't know. Dig in and deal with it. It's the old war thing, isn't it? Things change again. I don't know. I don't know what I do, to be honest. Get used to eating what there is, but we've sort of passed. There'll be nothing. There'll always be something. And yeah, basically that's it. That's kind of how I try and live anyway. I mean, we all get into habits of eating the same. I'll be eating snails again probably. Of the same thing over and over again. And then for whatever reason it starts to fail, doesn't it? So, but we'll do it. Well, most people do it. You just get into habits. This is what we're going to have: broccoli, carrots, peas, or whatever it is, and bread, or I don't know, crop rotation. I don't know. Planting different. It's why do funguses form? Different reasons. Break something down in the soil, maybe. I don't know enough about it. You've all been to college. Why don't you tell me? I don't know. My apple tree seems to have recovered though. Is that what you're finding interesting amongst other things? And I haven't. There's a snail on it. Maybe that's a good thing. It's eating the fungus. I was wondering about that as well. Yesterday, when I wiped down the pots with, what did I use? Like baking powder, which is citric acid and bicarb. I'm wondering if they'll all go green now, the pots, because it's a bit like when you paint like yogurt on things when you want moss to grow or something, and if the snails will just eat that instead. I don't know. There maybe there's something in it that they like or they don't like, because it's sort of salt, isn't it? I don't really know. But they're not normally on the apple tree, so, which is brilliant. There's a little git on my sweet peas. Look, can you see it? He's eating it. Does it hurt him? So it's that tweeting bird. But he's so small. So if he's got to go, the bird's hungry. He's got a job to do. Like clean up these snails. Damn them. Over here. Mr. Blackbird. I know, to be honest. On the plus side, Pack Shaw didn't get eaten last night. And the borage doesn't seem to have got eaten in the corner, which I left open, completely open. I did cover this up because I'm still a bit precious about it. That's it, really. To do with what get used to it, what is growing. And the other thing I suppose of that is like public relations, I suppose. What's the word? Like if you're fighting with everyone all the time with global wars, let's talk about it like that, then you're cutting yourself off from different, somewhere might have a glut of something that's actually worked that year, whatever it is, I don't know, something which we might need. So, as a source of carbohydrate or something. Not that everyone eats carbohydrate, but like sweet potatoes, say. I don't know. Something, whatever it is, that's doing well. Which we just have to get used to eating that, I suppose. But then watching this morning, that came up as well about the, is it gannets that are recovering from bird flu and how their pattern markings have changed as like a signal, I suppose, to the others that they've survived this thing. As a breeding thing, probably. But things recover. It was the same with Mixie and rabbits. They find some bits start to survive, don't they? So, I don't know. Not panic, maybe. Look for alternatives. Tide you over. Get used to having less. Find interesting ways to use the things that you have got. Turn into a game as usual. I don't grow enough stuff to freeze and bottle things, but we did used to. I mean, I've got to do it with the green beans. Blanch them and put them in freezer bags. I probably will do, actually. My mum used to do all that sort of stuff when we were little. Well, and my grandparents, actually, or one set of grandparents. They were always blanching and freezing. My mum was into kilner jars and bottling and jam making or whatever. I said that before. We also go fruit picking in the summer. For the day or whatever. The whole family. And come back with all this stuff and have to find something to do with it. Can't we just eat them on the field? Well, you can only eat so many, or they'll weigh you when you come out. We'll have to leave you behind. But I don't really know. So I might get 3 apples this year if I'm lucky. I haven't done anything with it though, have I? I didn't cut it and prune it or anything last year. Or feed it. So, do you know what? I'm pretty lucky, I suppose. I suppose, what will happen with having one of the plants? But it happens with things, isn't it? You have to a point, treat them like you treat anything that's ill if it gets a disease. Well, if it gets some disease, you have to put it up for the sake of the whole rest of the thing, but just like tend it, I suppose, until it's recovered. Because the apple tree, I thought the other day maybe I'd let it get too wet. There's not much in the way of drainage in this pot, and how different ways to get around that. Because I was thinking, with strawberries, I suppose I could cut holes in that and make it like a strawberry bin at the bottom. Would that use more moisture? But it was also like an indicator of what's failing, or if they start to fail at the bottom, it's too wet, sort of thing, or if it's dry, if they start to shrivel up at the bottom. But then working out with companion planting what things like and what feeds. What would you have around apple trees? I'm thinking there'd normally be in an orchard, which was at the close of it. And what puts into the ground that they need to take out of the ground. And what you notice yourself, like how I found those carrots just popped out when I was weeding. They weren't even carrot fronds. What are called, leaves. When I was weeding around the chives, these 2 carrots popped out. I mean, I must have just chucked the seeds around before, because I often just do that anyway. So I don't know what to do with these, so I just fling them over there. So I just decided maybe they just like to grow together. So I put those where I put the carrots, just to see. Think about airflow, I suppose, if mould's a problem. Diamond patterns. With tracks, so the air can blow through it. Well, that's a positive and negatives, because I don't know what air's blowing through, I suppose. Must be a way of solving it. Smaller plots. Well, that's the other thing I do in this garden as well. It's like, I use the borage as an example. I put some there, and then you put bits in different places. I mean, partly, I don't know, if it gets hit by, say, the sun, if everything burns up in the scorching heat that's coming, hopefully there's a bit that's shoved in the shade somewhere, or you can cover up with a bucket or something like that. The snails haven't found because of whatever reason. I don't really know. I don't honestly know. What the heck's that calling around? A frog. I could be eating him, I suppose. But hopefully at the moment he's eating other things. Right. I'm having a cup of tea. I'll tell you what though, I'm desperate to try this Nicotiana, which hops I just make into tea. You could probably use it like spinach or something. I don't really know if it doesn't. If it grows, This Nicotiana's come up today. But I just want to, work out if I can use it, because I was thinking about nickel tea, whether I can use it like, instead of like nickel, it's like cheap. If you can use it as tea, as a sort of substitute. It's nicotine plant, isn't it? So you already smoke it, if you so wanted to. Substitute to things. That's why they're saying don't grow tomatoes, because of this fungus thing. They hate damp. Brilliant. I want to do these 5 then. Let's see how they go. He was saying don't. Well, no, he wasn't saying don't grow tomatoes. So when my dead granddad, my bloody dead granddad was going, "You're not buying a tomato plant." Well, no, he didn't say you're not. He said don't. I got a packet of seeds, which they are behind, but then maybe that's. Do you know, maybe there's a positive to that as well, isn't there? Because if they come at a different time to the others, I don't know. We'll see. We'll just see what happens. Maybe it's something to do with that, like continual cropping of things. It doesn't give things a chance to, like virus. We're calling him, he could be slow walking gelled as well, can't he? The fungal thing. A chance to dry off. Whatever. And that's enough. You kind of know what I'm talking about. Mice hate purple. It's like meths, isn't it? Methylated spirits, or something hates it anyway. Or spiders. Spiders hate purple. Purple's the key. I don't know, that came up the other day. Something hates purple anyway. How much do I use? Not much. Depends what. I haven't used any this week at all. There's something about using rotation, isn't it? So I'll tell you what, I've got actually a bottle of methylated spirits. Maybe I bought 2 at the beginning of lockdown, because at the time, you know what, I'd gone zombie apocalypse. And I was thinking you can use it to make like, what do you use it for? Like burners or something. And I think I've got that much left of maybe 2 bottles. So sometimes put half a cap in this. Occasionally I use it, like I put a cap full in a bucket to mop the floor or something. But I always, or stick it, through the washing machine. Just the same amount. Well, not the washing machine, I don't have a washing machine. But micro dosing, I suppose, and then just using different things. Sometimes use washing powder to clean the floor, because I know when we were doing the dog thing with dog training, we're learning about that, and like puppy training, how biological washing powder breaks down the scent in the urine, whereas a lot of pet sprays just cover it up, or bleach even. Bleach has got ammonia in it that smells the same, so they'll remark in the same spots and things like that. But I do sometimes use bleach. I do sometimes use this, because I think different things are going to kill different things. And there's a great big, I think this is an acorn slug, but it's bigger than an acorn. It's a different one. He's a what, is he? That's definitely Gerald. Do they come in cereals, those characters, those slug characters? Look at him. You like him? You like him as long as he's out of the way. I'm not going to kill him. Hey, he looks like that stone I had yesterday. He's got an orange back. He's the worst one. Let's say that. He's not the worst one. He's just looking around here. I'm just going to put him back there for now. Put him somewhere different. Well, the birds can reach him. And he could be tempted in. I need to have an attack of this, don't I? Thin it out of it. That'll be getting damp and rotten soon. What I'll do with it then? Pull it out, chop it up for me, and say goodbye, cherry tree. You ate tin of baked beans? Of course I ate tin of baked beans. I used to eat nothing but beans on toast. Or with mushrooms, actually. I just like... I'll tell you what. I do eat sweets. Look, I've got marrow here. I don't eat nothing but fruit. Stop going on about it. But... do you know what? I said it before. I don't smoke. I don't drive a car. I don't run a washing machine. If I want to buy a punnet of blueberries occasionally, I can do. I can do it, can't I? Just say I can. What about oranges? What's wrong with buying a bag of oranges? It's like, you know, I don't buy orange juice, do I? I buy an orange. They tend to last long. If you've got a carton of orange juice, you've got to use it within 3 days. You buy a bag of oranges, they probably last for 3 weeks. Well, maybe. And then you can have them when you want, and they're wrapped up already, and you can use the peel for other things. You know what? How much is a carton of orange juice? Occasionally I want to buy orange juice, but, you know, not very often. I use it for things like pouring on cereal. How many oranges does it make to make a carton of orange juice? At 16 or something. If you squeeze an orange, you don't get that much juice out of it, do you? And apples. How many apples does it take to make a carton of apple juice? But I know that used to be a way of using things up, didn't it? If you had a glut of, say, apples, you make it into cider or something. Now it seems to be the other way around. It's like, I don't really know. What else can you do with apples if you have a load of them? I don't know. How about stewing them and putting them in the freezer? That's what my mum used to do. You can't freeze apples. Well, apples like strawberries, you can't really freeze. They don't come out, do they? But if you cook them first, you can do. Not everyone likes stewed apples. Well, not everyone likes cider. It's a mixture of things, isn't it? But yeah, you can tin apples, can't you? Stew cooked apples. Nobody buys them. Well, they might do. But do you know what? That's the only option. Compo, apple compo, mixed with porridge instead of milk, when the cows will get that whistle disease that comes if you don't rub a penny on them in May with the pixies come or whatever it is. Our old stories that have just been, I don't know. Pine. That's an effective disinfectant of sorts, isn't it? Actual pine, I mean. Chop down all the pine trees to spray over the land. I don't know. Maybe they were infected to start with. People don't like to try new things. Well, sometimes they do. Sometimes that's all they want to do. I want to do something different. Well, you can. Today you're going to have a turnip instead of a bag of bananas. That's just, you know what? That's just how the roll of the dice. I don't know what to do with it either. But you know what? That's what we've got. So, you know, you don't have to eat anything green this week. You can eat something yellow-ish. Stop making jokes about it. People used to eat pigeons. I mean, that was part of, what's it called? Permaculture, I suppose. And my granddad occasionally, he had an air rifle, and he used to occasionally shoot the pigeons because they'd eat his cabbages. He'd never have eaten those old things, but people did, didn't they? And they used to eat those because it's like, he'd feed them to the cats, just to check if they were sick. But the cats kept the mice down. It was after his sodding peas. But that's living in balance, isn't it? In harmony with nature. You have to, you know, the cat eats this, but, you know, if this eats that, then this is why when I had hens, I used to feed the slugs and snails to them, because I didn't want to just for the sake of it kill them because they have a purpose, but at the same time, it's a balance, isn't it? They can't just eat everything in the garden, not every damn thing. And I always leave some of them. I've made the snails a corner around here. They don't seem to be sticking to it though. So sometimes they get thrown down there, which is like, what do you put in it? A little bit of compost, some grass. Well, not, I say compost, like carrots, scrapes or things. I don't know, I just started that recently. Occasionally I'll throw them down there. I work out, sometimes it's just like, what are you eating when I pick you up? I'll put a bit of that down there with you. And you can get used to different flavours. I'll tell you what I was thinking the other day, actually. Like, I thought this is what I was trying to do originally, but the magpies, because they steal eggs, don't they? So I thought, you know what, I want you to just train them to eat snails, because they've got a shell, haven't they? And it's a protein thing. So that's one of the reasons I throw them on the garage roof. Because that'd be handy. If they start then picking away at snails, they just come foraging for those. They'll be hopping around the garden stealing snails like little shits. I love magpies, but you know. But that's the thing with I mean, I know that from dogs as well, but it's the same with people. How, when we had rescue dogs, you'd often know where they'd come from to a point because of what they'd eat. Like, there was one breeder who'd feed his dogs all sorts of, well, like raw feeding and eggs and things. Well, probably more than one. And that was the dog that he stole, literally. We went out one day and I'd left a bowl of eggs on the side, and I came back and he'd eaten 13 eggs. Whereas another dog might not eat an egg. But, you know what I'm saying anyway. But birds must be the same. They learn, don't they, there's a window of learning, and they learn from each other. So, I'm fairly sure one had a snail the other day. Train the birds. I said that, didn't I? When you train the birds up. They eat snails and slugs. Whatever else. But then people bait them, and then the birds die, and then all the crops die, and the bees die. Everything dies. Then we die. That's the end of the story. I don't know. We'll recover though. Somebody will. Something that always does. What about the flies? What do you mean, what about the flies? I know it's the flies. And damn spiders, probably. I had one in the house the other day, a great big fat buzzing fly yesterday. And I thought, it's starting to wonder if it was that bloody hornet buzzing around. It wasn't, it was a big fat fly, so I flicked it with a towel. I tried to just usher it outside. Go back outside, it didn't want to go. So I was sort of swatting at it, just had it a bit more violently to go outside, and I hit it and stunned it, and it fell on the floor. I squashed it, and now I put it outside. But I have to remember not to come in again. It might have left some sort of marking to say, don't go in there, she hits you with towels. Or some sort of scent. But I doubt it. What's the other thing? Put nets up at the door or something. You have beaded curtains in the 70s and like in butcher shops, they have them chained things, don't they, to stop the flies going through. Well, they're up again like we had in the 70s. Beaded curtains. Be brilliant. Honestly, it'd be so good. I can't wait, to be honest. Another challenge. Another day, another dollar. Oh. What else could we eat? We'll be eating mawam or ice poles and I don't know. It'll be okay to eat sugar again, probably, for a week. That's all there is. Sugar's all failing. Well, do you know what? I don't know.